I don't usually like plays, but we have here Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman, right? And I have to mention this is like a relative to uh, Eugene O'Neill's Long Day's Journey into Night. I get that same kind of feeling here. Maybe Long Day's Journey into Night is a bit darker. It is a bit more atmospheric. But Death of a Salesman, it's pretty thin here. Let me just say it immediately. I get it. This is a play and whatever, but I don't really like these act 1, and we had this the descriptions completely revolve around, we're on a stage. The lights are so and so. These are pretty much the descriptions of the surroundings, our environment. And I get it. This is a play. This is meant to be on a scene, but I don't like this. I don't like this at all. It's so limiting, right? It's like, let me guess, the lights are gonna get duller or they're gonna get brighter. Big fucking deal, bro. You know, you can play with the shadows, do something with the shadows, but this, I don't know. I don't know. That's just my personal little dislike about it. Right now, the way it's written, it's pretty nice. You can read it and just not have a problem with. You don't have to go to the dictionary to search something, which is nice. Nothing too astounding. Again, we have characters that are very well defined for such a thin book. Very, very, very individualistic. Very prominent in their individuality, right? They stand out. The main cast, of course, which we have the family, the Loman, I think, right? That's what they're called. Let me check. Yeah, Loman. The Lomans, which are, you know, a family with two sons. Now the story is, I have to say, at the same time, it is interesting, but at the same time, especially the way the dialogue works in this, and I don't have a problem with it, but it's a bit irritating. Some of the dialogue, how it just something is about to be revealed, and they just egg you on, and they just egg you on, and when you think they're gonna say something completely different to just keep the tension, to distract, and to just keep you going, right? Whenever it's time for a reveal, they just fucking go about it in just such a dragging, dull way. It's like they say something completely different, right? It's like, let me tell you this secret. And then you're waiting, and he says, this today I went to the store and I bought some sneakers. Like, bitch, I don't give a fuck. Just tell me what the fuck. Tell me your secret, dude. Right? But I get it. Why it's melodramatic, blah blah blah, whatever. It's not my fancy. It's not my fancy. I don't like that. But that's just me. Again, um, the story, the way it goes. Now this is gonna be a critique about this, and this might just be my thing because if something just doesn't grab me immediately and just keeps me there, I might drift off. So the problem I have with this is, of course, you have the protagonist, the salesman, who is in his 60s, right? And who obviously has some problems with. He has problems in the head, right? His brain is not right. But the way this is written, sometimes I have problems just understanding what's happening in terms of, you got the protagonist, the salesman, he's talking to his family, whatever, and just a line later, he has, I don't know, flashbacks, I don't know, dead people come along, younger versions of people come along, and he is he is re-experiencing memories, past memories, in the present, right? And sometimes I can't tell what's happening here. Are we in the present? Are we in the past? Both? What's happening? I don't understand exactly, because the way this is written, there aren't very many clues as to what is exactly happening here. Because this guy, he just says something, and then the next line is, young so and so says, right? So is this a flashback? Is this a past memory? Is this, of course, this guy has problems in his head. Of course, something's not right with him, and he is in the process of losing it completely, because he has a lot of bills. He has a lot of unpaid bills, and wouldn't you know it, he loses his job. Of course, he gets fired, and then the great reveal of this little book, of this little play, is that the Lohman family, the Lohman family are absolutely nobodies. They're nothing. They have no quality that can elevate them from, the lowest of the low. They're lowest of the low, which is hilarious, because the salesman, the father, he has two sons, and not only does he live with this delusion that he is somebody, and that the people who he sales stuff to, he thinks that those people really value him. But not only that, he also believes wrongly that his two boys are also amazing, magnificent. They'll be somebody. He keeps saying magnificent. They're superb. My boys will be somebody. Well, at the end of this, at the end of this little book, it turns out that actually the Lohman family, are just a bunch of chumps. They're a bunch of chumps, and nobody gives a damn. Nobody gives a damn about the Lohmans. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying, bro? That's just how it is, and I don't know why this guy Willie. I don't know why he believes this obvious fallacy that he is, somebody tremendous, that he is the focus of many people, and that people, they just, when he arrives, people just give him the best treatment, like, you're a king, dude. No, obviously, there is absolutely no evidence to support this claim. Absolutely nothing, right? And he keeps on. Uh, Listen, this book is a deranged contradiction, and I love it, because in this, you got one line which says, "Listen," he says about his sons, "My sons, they're great, they're amazing, they'll be somebody." And then two lines later, he says, "My sons are pieces of shit, they're nobodies." And so this guy, this Willie Loman, he is caught in the woes of his last pieces of sanity. He is on the brink of just losing it completely. I mean, one second he is all right, he understands where he is, that he is in the present, blah blah blah, and then a second later he has visions of his dead brother who went to Alaska and became a billionaire, and it's just it's just so hard to watch this, to read about this, right? I mean, this guy worked his entire life while under the delusion that he's somebody, and then, when he's at the age of of retiring and just having a pension and just taking it easy, right? He can't do that, because after a life of just working nonstop and just being on the road, it turns out that he has nothing to show for it. Nothing. He has nothing. Absolutely. He has a house, and that's pretty much it. A beat up car, whatever, right? So that is a great example from which we have to learn, because most people they think that they are amazing, that they are the greatest, that they are kings and queens. And then let me tell you, life works this way. One day, when you're older, you're gonna realize that you were living under a serious delusion. Boy, let me tell you, you're gonna, one day, you're gonna find out that nobody in this world cared about you in the list. They don't care what you have to say, they don't care about your opinions, they don't care what you feel, etc. They don't care, they don't know that you exist, basically. And this is Willy Loman's predicament, right? And that applies to a lot of people, because I know people who imagine that they are amazing, that they are just at the height of their potential and prowess. And it's not true. It's not true. You have to be more modest. You have to be honest and just look at yourself in the mirror and just accept what you are truly. You got to strip away the mask, because it's not helping you. I know it gives you some self-esteem, but it's just not true. It's fake, dude, right? So Willie here, Willie Loman, he has a lot of unpaid bills, and this weighs on him. A lot of things weigh on him. And there are hints that he might try to commit suicide, just because he can't take the despair anymore, right? Because all his life he worked nonstop and he has nothing to show for it, right? Nothing. He has nothing to show for it. So by the end, he realizes that there's only one way out of this. And that is to cash the insurance policy, the life insurance policy, which will help his wife and his children, and they will be able to live a decent life. So by the end, he commits suicide, and he drives off and allegedly crashes his car, and that's it, pretty much. And the family gets the money, and that's the death of a salesman, and it's just like Willie says at the end, he is worth more dead than alive. And that is a tragedy. That's sad, right? Overall, it was pretty all right. I love this family dynamic, this darkness, this sort of tension that and sadness that just floats about around and in this family. Like I said, this reminds me of Eugene O'Neill's A Long Day's Journey into Night, but I think that one is better than this. That one really captures this despair of this family. But this one's pretty good too, so I do recommend it. Death of a Salesman, Arthur Miller. It was pretty all right. Not amazing, but it was pretty good. Pretty good. I recommend it. And keep on reading.